The WNBA world exploded when cameras captured what nobody saw coming. 2 minutes ago, chaos erupted on the court as Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner got into the most heated exchange of the season. What started as a simple timeout turned into a viral moment that has everyone talking, and the fallout is just beginning. Picture this: Phoenix Mercury versus Indiana Fever, September 2nd. The tension was already thick because this wasn't just any game. This was personal. DeWanna Bonner, the woman who quit on the Fever earlier this season, was back to face her former teammates. But nobody expected what happened next. During a routine timeout, Clark was sitting on the bench when she spotted Bonner near the referees, gesturing for a replay challenge. That's when everything went sideways. Clark, despite being injured and unable to play, got up from the bench and marched straight toward her former teammate. The two immediately started jawing at each other about a foul call, with Clark yelling that it wasn't a legitimate foul, while Bonner insisted it was. But here's where it gets spicy. As Bonner started walking back to the Mercury bench, Clark had enough. She waved her off with the most dismissive gesture you've ever seen, basically telling Bonner to get lost and go back where she belonged. The cameras caught every second of this explosive confrontation, and within hours, the footage was everywhere. Social media went absolutely crazy, with fans picking sides and analyzing every word these two exchanged. What makes this moment even more shocking is the history between these players. This isn't their first rodeo. Last season, when Bonner was still playing for the Connecticut Sun, she and Clark got into multiple heated exchanges during the playoffs. We're talking about at least 8 different incidents where these two went at each other. It was like Bonner had made it her personal mission to get under Clark's skin every single time they faced off. During one particularly intense playoff game, Clark took a 3-point shot while being guarded by Bonner. When Clark missed and thought she was fouled on the landing, she immediately went to complain to the referee. Bonner didn't appreciate that one bit and got right in Clark's face. The confrontation escalated so quickly that Clark actually pushed Bonner away, and Bonner responded by swiping back at the rookie sensation. Both players had to be separated, and the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. But then something unexpected happened. After all that drama and hostility, Bonner shocked everyone by signing with the Indiana Fever as a free agent before the 2025 season. Clark, being the professional she is, welcomed Bonner with open arms. She even said publicly that she wanted to win a championship for Bonner and praised the veteran's experience. For a brief moment, it seemed like these two fierce competitors had put their differences aside for the greater good. That honeymoon period didn't last long. Within just 9 games of the season, cracks started showing. Bonner's minutes were getting cut, she was relegated to bench duty, and reports started surfacing that she was unhappy with her role on the team. The breaking point came when Bonner simply stopped showing up. She cited personal reasons for her absence, but everyone knew what was really happening. According to insider sources, Bonner couldn't handle being in Caitlin Clark's massive spotlight. The pressure, the media attention, the constant scrutiny that comes with being Clark's teammate was apparently too much for the veteran to handle. One reporter described it as Bonner being unable to deal with the white-hot spotlight that follows Clark everywhere she goes. Instead of embracing the opportunity and the increased exposure that could have benefited her career, Bonner wanted out. The way she handled her exit left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth. Sophie Cunningham, one of Clark's other teammates, revealed on her podcast that Bonner never even sent a message to the team group chat after requesting her release. No goodbye, no explanation, no professional courtesy to the players she was abandoning mid-season. Cunningham said there were ways to handle the situation professionally, like sending a simple text saying the fit didn't work out and wishing the team luck, but Bonner chose the cold shoulder instead. After the Fever waived her, Bonner quickly signed with the Phoenix Mercury, returning to the franchise where she spent the first 10 years of her career. The reunion was perfect for Phoenix, but created the perfect storm for drama when these teams inevitably faced each other again. The first meeting earlier this season was already tense, with Indiana fans booing Bonner every time she touched the ball. But Tuesday's confrontation took things to a completely different level. The footage of Clark telling Bonner to get the fuck back to her bench went viral instantly. You can see Clark's competitive fire burning even while she's injured and sitting in street clothes. She's waving Bonner off like she's shooing away an annoying fly, and the disrespect is palpable. Bonner had to be escorted back to her bench by her teammates, clearly rattled by the unexpected confrontation. Social media erupted with reactions from every corner of the basketball world. Fans were divided between those supporting Clark's fiery competitiveness and others criticizing her for starting drama while injured. The video racked up millions of views within hours, with everyone analyzing the body language, trying to read lips, and speculating about what triggered such an intense exchange. What's particularly fascinating is how this incident reflects the broader dynamics in women's basketball right now. Clark represents the new generation of superstars who are changing the game's popularity and bringing unprecedented attention to the WNBA. Meanwhile, veterans like Bonner represent the old guard who might be struggling to adapt to this new reality where everything is magnified and scrutinized. The timing of this confrontation couldn't be worse for the Fever's playoff hopes. They're currently sitting at the 8th seed with just a few games left in the regular season, fighting desperately to secure their playoff spot. Clark's absence due to her groin injury has already been a massive blow to their championship aspirations. And now this drama with Bonner is creating additional distractions that the team simply can't afford. But here's where things get really interesting. Despite all the online speculation and dramatic headlines claiming serious investigations, there's actually no official WNBA investigation into this particular incident. The league tends to only investigate situations involving potential rule violations, threats, or actions that could harm the integrity of the game. Two players having a heated verbal exchange during a timeout while entertaining for fans doesn't typically warrant formal league intervention. However, that doesn't mean the league isn't paying attention. The WNBA has been extremely protective of its rising stars, especially Clark, who has single-handedly brought millions of new viewers to women's basketball. Any situation that could potentially harm the league's image or its biggest draw gets scrutinized behind the scenes, even if no formal investigation is announced. The real investigation that fans should be talking about isn't from the league office, but from the court of public opinion. Every angle of this confrontation has been dissected, analyzed, and debated across social media platforms. Fans are playing detective, trying to uncover every detail of what was said and why the animosity between these two players runs so deep. What makes this situation even more compelling is that both teams could potentially meet again in the playoffs. The Mercury have already secured their postseason spot and are fighting for better seeding, while the Fever are desperately trying to avoid elimination. If these teams face each other in a playoff series, the drama and intensity would be off the charts. Unfortunately for drama lovers, Clark's season-ending injury announcement means we won't get to see round 2 of this rivalry on the court anytime soon. The psychological warfare aspect of this confrontation can't be ignored either. Bonner scored 19 points off the bench in that game, helping the Mercury defeat her former team 85-79. Some could argue that Clark's heated exchange actually motivated Bonner to play with extra intensity against her former squad. It's the kind of bulletin board material that veteran players use to fuel their performances. Looking at the bigger picture, this incident perfectly encapsulates everything that's happened to the WNBA in the past 2 years. Clark's arrival has elevated the league to unprecedented heights, bringing mainstream attention and massive television ratings. But with that spotlight comes increased scrutiny of every interaction, every confrontation, and every bit of drama between players. The contrast between Clark and Bonner's approaches to competition is striking. Clark, even while injured, can't help but be emotionally invested in every play and every call. Her passion and intensity are part of what makes her special, but they also make her a target for opponents looking to get under her skin. Bonner, meanwhile, represents the veteran who's seen it all and knows exactly which buttons to push to create chaos. What happens next in this saga remains to be seen. Clark is done for the season, focusing on recovery and preparing for what everyone hopes will be a healthy 2026 campaign. Bonner and the Mercury are positioned for a deep playoff run, where her experience and clutch performance could be the difference maker. The irony is that Bonner might end up winning the championship that she couldn't pursue in Indiana because she couldn't handle being Clark's teammate. The lasting impact of this confrontation goes beyond just these two players. It's become a symbol of the old versus new mentality in women's basketball, the challenges of superstardom, and the price of being in the spotlight. For Clark, it's another chapter in her story of dealing with adversity and criticism while maintaining her competitive edge. For Bonner, it's a reminder that her decision to leave Indiana will follow her for the rest of her career. As the playoffs approach, one thing is certain. This confrontation has added another layer of intrigue to an already compelling WNBA season. Whether there's any official investigation or not, the real judgment comes from fans, teammates, and the basketball community who witness this explosive moment. The rivalry between Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner is far from over, and when they eventually meet again on the court, you can bet everyone will be watching.